Day 6 of San Francisco's training camp just wrapped up. And while many people are focusing on the quarterback battle, in this video I'm going to focus on other players that stood out. The first position group that I want to dive into is the wide receiver position group, specifically starting with Juwan Jennings. He had one of the best plays of all camp so far. He was working in the red zone and beat the cornerback on him with a stutter move going into the corner of the end zone. Brock Purdy had a nice throw on the play, but it might have been one of the best grabs and throws of the entire camp. Another star player who stood out in this training camp was Deebo Samuel. So far, he's looked in great shape, getting in and out of his breaks quickly, but today he did have a fumble when Isaiah Oliver punched it loose. The final wide receiver that actually stood out in practice today was Tay Martin. He's an undrafted free agent from last year. He's 6'3" and had a really good camp up to this point, but today might have been his best day. He caught 2 passes on the day, one from Brandon Allen on a deep crosser, and the other one was when he beat Samuel Womack, and that was thrown by Sam Darnold. So with the wide receiver position group wrapped up, let's move into the tight end position group, starting with George Kittle and his play on Lenore. In today's practice, Lenore held Kittle, and many people, when Purdy threw this pass, thought it was a near interception, but the referee on the play did throw a flag, so this would have been a positive play for the offense. Moving forward though, Kittle also had a couple of nice plays throughout the day, but Kittle wasn't the only one that impressed me today in the tight end position group. A guy that I've absolutely loved throughout this training camp is Braden Willis. He's aggressive in the blocking game, and today he caught 2 passes, one from Trey Lance and the other was from Brandon Allen. Moving on to the tight end that didn't perform as well today is Cameron Latu. He dropped a pass from Sam Darnold that would have resulted in a touchdown. The next group that I want to focus on is the offensive line position, specifically Jalen Moore. Today, he went down on the play and was able to get off the practice field on his own accord, but we don't really know his status. And so far, he's been the tackle behind Trent Williams. So now it looks like a guy like Matt Pryor may have to step up. Moving on to the positives of the offensive line, they held up nicely against the pass rush and also made nice lanes for the running backs to run through. There was Colt McKivitz, who might be the biggest point of speculation on this offensive line. He gave up a sack, but has looked solid so far throughout camp, and today I still think he looks solid. Today he was responsible for a couple of the longest runs from the offense. Spencer Burford also looks extremely strong on one-on-ones and in the running game. It looks like his offseason work really paid off, so I'm excited to see how the right side of this offensive line comes together during these preseason games. So with the offense out of the way, moving on to the linebacking position for the defense, a guy that really keeps standing out, and today was no exception, was Marcelino McCrary-Ball. He's a former defensive back, so his coverage skills are evident on the field, and today he nearly picked off Brock Purdy. But that's not the only thing that's been impressive about Marcelino McCrary-Ball. He's also demonstrated an ability to fill run lanes. For instance, today he would have knocked down Elijah Mitchell on a would-be stop. D. Winters also had a strong day. The Niners linebacker they selected out of the 5th round from TCU had a couple of tackles, but also broke up a pass intended for Kalen LeBourne. So for me, out of these linebackers, I would say that Marcelino McCrary-Ball is the one that's most likely to eventually get that starting job if Oren Burks does give it up. Moving on to the secondary, the player that I think made the biggest impact there today was Isaiah Oliver when he forced that fumble that I was previously talking about. But maybe the news that all Niners fans can be excited about today and agree upon is that it's great they got Taco Charlton on Taco Tuesdays, and today he even made a pretty impressive play, ultimately getting to the quarterback for a would-be sack. Moving off the defense and into the kicker watch, Jake Moody was great today once again. He lost his 100% streak he was going for a while. Today, he only was 5 of 6. He missed a 43-yarder, but nailed a 60-yarder. He made from 33, 38, 48, 53, and the 60 I mentioned. Jake Moody does look to be worth the 3rd round pick the Niners gave up for him, and I expect him to be a heavy contributor his rookie year, and maybe the biggest contributor out of the entire draft class. With that being said, these are some guys that really just stood out today for me in training camp, and I want to hear your thoughts. What are some guys that stood out to you? It would also mean a ton to me if you subscribed and liked, and as always, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.